gotta be mean if you want to get something out of life. Because at the end of the day, if you're a kind person and highly productive and you're so worried about other people liking you, you're not gonna say the things that you have to say in order to make your time actually worthwhile. And if you continue to do that, then chances are that you're gonna miss the opportunities that are gonna make your life what you want it to be. And it's a hard pill to swallow, but really the advice that I always give is you got to figure out what your extremes are. We are oceans, okay? Each of us has a soul. We have lots and lots of talent, potential. We have all these things that we're interested in. And at the end of the day, if we're afraid of our own ocean, our internal monologue, we're not going to be able to expand who we are as human beings, and oftentimes it's going to lead to stagnation in life. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, being kind is the better way. It's the more efficient way. Or you might be thinking to yourself, you know, I've been through enough times in my life where killing people with kindness is actually the better way to go. And to those, I would say absolutely. You are definitely onto something there. As a rule of thumb, it's probably better to be kind up front. What I'm specifically talking about is in circumstances where people take advantage of you, or people are underperforming while you are giving them some sort of payment, some sort of service, or some sort of support in any capacity. If those people that are in your life take you for granted and you don't do anything about it, my friend, it's gonna affect you in so many different ways. It's gonna make it so that you don't have as much faith in yourself because you're allowing other people to speak negatively about you, for instance. It's going to make it so that when you have been given an opportunity and when you come across that opportunity that comes across only twice a year, a life-changing opportunity, that you may not have the gusto, the inspiration, perhaps, to go ahead and take that opportunity. It's going to put you in situations, hopefully never, but being taken for granted does these things to people. It's going to put you in situations where you know in your heart of hearts that you can go and get that thing, but the advice that you're getting from people around you or the words that are coming out from the people around you are going to hold you back from actually taking that opportunity, taking that risk. And I say this specifically to young people, young leaders. At the end of the day, I think being kind is kind of a norm in our society. I think it's something that we've been taught, ideally if we're raised in a good household, something that we're taught, and it's something that's magnified again and again in our society. And there is actually a negative correlation between career success and likability. If we're so concerned about what other people think, chances are we're not going to set the vision or set our habits in a way that actually moves us forward and closer to our own goals. That's an issue because most of the people in society are looking for someone to hold on to. They're looking for stability in a chaotic world. And if we don't have that stability as leaders, if we don't have that firm edge that we need to go and perhaps chop down that tree or go and tackle that mountain, we're not going to ever have anyone in our society that we can hold on to. So if you know you're that person, well, congratulations, you made it to this point in the video. You are a catalyst in society. You are the person that I'm trying to help to bring out more of your potential. And at the end of the day, what that means is when you have people that are consistently not doing what they need to do, and they're taking your ultimatums and your threats as a joke, you have to show them that they're not indeed jokes, that they're very real consequences for people treating you a certain way or people not acting in a certain way. And it comes off as being an asshole. And my solution to those of you that find yourself being more kind, then perhaps you have to be all the time apologizing a lot, saying yes to everything. My friend, you have to explore that deeper, darker part of yourself. You have to figure out how evil, how negative, how brutal you can be. And you got to figure out what the consequences of being that person are. We've got to understand it in here. We've got to understand it in our stomach. We've got to understand it intellectually, what that power actually means and how it feels to use. Because at the end of the day, if we don't understand what we're capable of doing, we really don't understand ourselves that well. And a lack of understanding of self tends to lead to a lack of setting goals that are actually congruent, that are similar to what our soul wants, what our child self wants. There was so many times in my life where I was taken for granted from my family, from my peers, from my friends, from my significant others. It's still something that haunts me. consistently. But it's part of the reason that I got so sick and tired of being sick and tired that I said, you know what? Maybe I need to go and start saying some shit to people that they need to hear. Maybe I need to go and tell that person that they are selfish, that whenever they come over, they tell me to do things, and I'm not trying to do shit for them. Maybe I need to tell that person that their life view does not make sense for my life view, meaning I don't want advice from you because I don't want to be like you. Maybe I need to tell that person that, hey, I understand you're trying your best right now, but if you don't try harder, I'm going to have to replace you. And here are the strategies to do these things, right? There's a kindness that you can put on the edge, on the end of a statement, if necessary. But most of the time, and you know what I'm talking about, it's gonna come down to ultimatums. It's gonna be like, listen, if you continue to treat me like this, if you continue to show up late, you can expect me to not be your friend. I'm gonna go find another girlfriend or boyfriend. If you yell at me like this about something that's irrational, we need to have a sit down and have a chat. And this actually goes to another thing too, how important it is to have discussions, complications in relationships, how infinitely important that is. If you're not having a fight every now and then with your spouse or someone that you're doing business with, or someone or a colleague that you're actually involved in building something with, my friend, you probably don't have that healthy of a relationship, right? There are things that we do as human beings that just aren't all that fun for other folk. The only way that we receive that information from other people about the world is through social sanctions. That can be as little as a twitch of an eyebrow or as big as a sit-down ultimatum discussion, right? If you don't change this thing in your life, you're gonna have this many problems. And one of them is gonna be me leaving your ass or you leaving my company, for instance. Now, it's better, in my opinion, to start off from a place where very kind. I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to working with other human beings and forming relationships in life, we have to value the compassionate aspect of humanity, the community building aspect of humanity. I think our society flourishes off of understanding and not actually making assessments of things that we don't have full information on, right? It's beneficial to be kind in circumstances where perhaps we're looking for a job or perhaps we're looking for a partner, right? We want to be understanding at the end of the day. We want to be understood at the end of the day. So that's a great place to start off. But if you do feel as I do, if you do indeed get taken for granted in your life again and again and again, and it shows up in the smallest and the largest of places, my friend, you have to explore that inner power that you have. And the only way to explore it properly is to set the mission of saying no more. It's to set the mission of having those hard conversations as soon as it comes up, having the motivation to actually reach out to those people and say to them, listen, if this doesn't change, this is what's gonna happen, and making sure follow through with our threats. That is the only way that we have people around us that actually respect our space, our time, our energy, our love, our capacity to give. We need to feel that sense of space, that we're not constantly being crushed by the people around us, or by perhaps the situation we've created for ourselves. It comes first with not being taken for granted. Now, that can spiral out of control, and I hope that you take this video to heart. You will reach an edge. There will be a conversation where you've gone too far. There will be wrath inside of you that you have released, and it will have consequences. However, I am here to tell you that you'll be fine, and at the end of the day, you'll probably know yourself a little bit better. If we know ourselves better, chances are we're gonna be more useful to everyone else around us, which is what this channel's for. If you want this in your feed, go ahead and subscribe, like, share it with someone that you believe might benefit from it. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Peace.